everybody. In this video, we're going to talk about expected value and how to calculate it. So take 3 deep breaths and let's make this math easy. All right, so let's talk about what expected value is. So the expected value of an event is the average amount you would expect to win or lose on average per event if you were to do the event multiple times. So for example, let's say that a raffle ticket costs $4 and there are 6 winning tickets out of the 500 tickets sold, where each winner gets a $55 gift card. If you buy a raffle ticket, we're looking for the expected profit or loss. So the way that you calculate this is you list out all of the possible outcomes. So in this case, you could not win the raffle, in which case you would lose $4. So I'm going to write that as negative $4. The other possibility is that you could win the raffle, and so you would gain $55. And these are the only 2 outcomes. You'll either lose $4 or you'll gain $55. Then the thing you want to do is calculate out, or sometimes it's given to you, but you need to find the probability of each of these outcomes. So the probability of losing $4 is going to be 494 out of 500, because there's 500 raffle tickets and 494 of them will lose, and then 6 of them will win. And so these are our 2 probabilities for these 2 different outcomes. And you always want to check and make sure that the probabilities add up to 100%, which if we calculate out the decimals for these, 494 divided by 500 equals 0.988. And if you do 6 divided by 500, that equals 0.012. And if you add those 2 together, that does add up to 100%. So we have our 2 options, or our 2 outcomes. And you can always have more than this, but in this case, there are 2 possible outcomes. And then we have the probabilities. And then the way that you calculate the expected value is you take the probability and multiply by the outcome, or the amount that you would win or lose. So if I do 0.988 and I multiply by negative 4, I get negative 3.952. Then I would say, okay, well, what's the probability of the other event? Well, 0.012 times $55 is positive 0.66, or 66 cents essentially. And so to find the expected value, you add together both or all of these numbers that you found by multiplying the outcomes by the probabilities. And when you add those together, 66 cents minus $3.95 equals negative $3.29. And so on average, you would expect to lose about $3.29 for each raffle ticket that you buy. Now, obviously, if you only buy 1 raffle ticket, you're not going to lose $3.29 because you'll either lose $4 or gain $55. But the expected value is saying that on average, if you were to buy a whole bunch of raffle tickets, this is about how much you would lose on average per ticket. So to summarize how to calculate the expected value, you list out all of the possible outcomes as well as their probabilities, and you always want to make sure that the probabilities add up to 100%, and then you multiply the cost or the benefit by the probability for all of the different outcomes. Then you add up all of those results from step 2, and that result will be the expected value. So let's say, for example, so why don't you guys practice finding the expected value for this table here? So these payouts are listing the payouts that a insurance company expects to pay, as well as the probabilities of how likely it is that they will need to pay that much. So it's relatively likely that they're not going to have to pay anything, because a lot of people don't end up filing their insurance claims, or they don't need the insurance or something like that. And then it's about 20% likely that they're going to have to pay out $5,000 for whatever they're insuring, and so on and so forth. So that's what the table means. And I'll let you guys pause this video and try calculating it yourself, and then I'll show you guys how to calculate it. Okay, so I'm going to start off by multiplying each one of the possible outcomes by the probability that it will happen. So the probability of paying $0 is 58%, and if I do $0 times 58%, I end up with 0. Then if I take $5,000 and I multiply it by the probability of 20%, that gives me $1,000. And if I take $10,000 and multiply by 13%, that gives me 1,300. And then if I do $15,000 times 5%, that gives me 750. If I take $20,000 and multiply by 3%, that's $600. And if I do the 25,000 times 1%, that's 250. And if I add up all of these numbers, that will tell me as an insurance company how much I will pay out on average per insurance policy that I sell. So I would say, okay, if I add all those up, it looks like I'm going to be paying out on average $3,900 per customer. So what that means is if I want my insurance company to make money, I need to make sure that I sell these insurance policies for more than $3,900 so that I can make a profit. So that's how you would calculate the expected value. And on your homework, you're going to have different problems where you have various situations. And in each one, you just want to list out all of the possible outcomes as well as the probabilities of their outcomes, and then multiply those together and add up all of those results to find the expected value. So I'll go through one more example where you have multiple outcomes, just to give you guys another example of this. So let's say that a marble is randomly drawn from a box containing 4 red marbles, 7 blue marbles, 2 yellow marbles, and 8 green marbles. If the marble is red, you win $10. If it's blue, you win $1. If it's yellow, you lose $8, and if it's green, you lose $2. And we're looking for what is your expected profit or loss. So to calculate this out, I need to make a list of all of my possible outcomes. So I could get a red marble, and if I get a red marble, it says that I win $10. So that's my first outcome. Another possibility is I could get a yellow marble. And if I get a yellow marble, it says that I lose $8. If I get a green marble, then I lose $2. And if I get a blue marble, then I gain $1. So that's a positive $1. Now I need to go through and calculate the probability of each of these things happening. So for the red marbles, I have 4 red marbles out of a total of, let's see, 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 7 is 17, plus 4 is 21. So I have 21 marbles total. So the probability of getting a red marble is 4 out of 21. The probability of getting a yellow marble is 2 out of 21. The probability of a green marble is 8 out of 21. And the probability of a blue marble is 7 out of 21. And I'm going to rewrite each of these as decimals. So if I do 4 divided by 21, that equals 0.19047. And I'm going to multiply that by $10 right now, just so that I can keep the decimal in my calculator. So when I multiply that decimal by 10, I get $1.90, and that's a positive. Then I'll do the same thing for the yellow. So if I do the yellow probability, 2 divided by 21 equals 0.09523, etc. And if I take that decimal and multiply by the payout of getting a yellow, I get the decimal negative $0.76. Then I'll do the same thing for the green, and I'll say, okay, I have 8 greens divided by 21. That is a decimal of 0.3809. And then I'll take that decimal and multiply by -2, because that's the payout for a green marble. And it looks like that decimal ends up being -0.76 as well, just because of the way the numbers worked out. And then the last one, if I do 7 divided by 21, I get 0.333333. If I take that decimal and multiply by 1, then I just get positive 0.33. So to find my expected value, I'll add all of those numbers up. So if I take $1.90 and subtract 76 cents, and then subtract another 76 cents, and then add 33 cents, it looks like my expected payout is going to be 71 cents. And so on average, I would expect to gain about 71 cents for each time that I play this game. And so this would be a game that would be profitable to play. Sometimes I'd win, sometimes I would lose, but on average, I would win about 71 cents per game that I play. So that's how you calculate expected value. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope you guys have a great day.